Salute is the second studio album by British girl group Little Mix. It was released in the UK on November 11, 2013. The group began work recording the album in June 2013 and concluded in September 2013. Throughout the recording process, Little Mix worked with several producers, including TMS, Future Cut, Frederick Ball, Duvall and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. The album was largely co-written by Little Mix, who stated that they were more involved in the development of this album than with their debut. Sonically, the album retains the pop sound of their debut album DNA, while also delving deeper into a more mature R&B sound. The album debuted at number 7 in the Irish Albums Chart and number 4 on the UK Albums Chart. It was released in the US on February 4, 2014 and has entered at number 1 on the US iTunes Chart. The album became their second top 10 in North America. Debuting at number 6 on the US Billboard 200, selling an estimated 40,414 copies in its first week. The album's lead single, Move, made its radio premiere on September 23, 2013 and was released on November 3, 2013. It charted at number 3 on the UK Singles Chart and number 5 on the Irish Singles Chart. Follow-up singles Little Me and Salute peaked at number 14 and 6 respectively in the UK. Background: in March 2013, Little Mix began their first promotional campaign in the US. In multiple interviews with various websites and radio interviewers, the girls said that they would begin working on their then untitled second album in April. The group began work writing and recording the album in April and concluded in September. Throughout the recording process, Little Mix worked with several producers, including TMS, Future Cut, Frederick Ball, Duvall and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. The album was largely co-written by Little Mix, who stated that they were more involved in the development of this album than with their debut. In an interview with Digital Spy in March 2013, Little Mix stated that they wanted their second album to have a more R&B sound. Band member J. Nelson added, "I personally want to put a lot more dancey stuff in there. As in, one of the songs that comes on in a club that makes you want to dance. Not that David Guetta sound, but more R&B a bit like Eve and Gwen Stefani's Let Me Blow Your Mind." They also revealed that they would be starting to write material for the new album in the coming months. On September 19, Little Mix held a live stream to announce that they had finished recording their second album and it was going to be sent to be mixed. In the same live stream, the girls announced that the first single Move would be premiered on radio on September 23. They also sang an a cappella of a song that would become Little Me. On October 4, Little Mix uploaded a video to their official YouTube page, announcing that their second album would be called Salute and would be available for pre-order on October 7. The album was released in the UK on November 11, 2013 and released in the US on February 4, 2014. Releasing promotion: on October 4, Little Mix uploaded a video to their official YouTube page, announcing that their second album would be called Salute and would be available for pre-order on October 7. The album was released on November 11, 2013 in the United Kingdom and was released in the United States February 4, 2014. Little Mix performed Move on the X Factor Australia on October 21, 2013. They also sang it on the X Factor UK on November 3, 2013. They also performed it on the X Factor USA on December 5, 2013. In December 2013, the group announced their second headlining concert tour, the Salute Tour, in support of the album. Singles: on September 23, 2013, Move was premiered on BBC Radio 1. For the single, Little Mix worked with Nathan Duvall, an up-and-coming R&B producer, and Megan Cotton, the girls' vocal coach. Move was released on October 7 in Australia and New Zealand. It was later released in the UK and Ireland on November 3. It was sent to mainstream radio in the US on February 18, 2014 and reached number 38 on that chart. The song peaked at number 3 in the UK, number 5 in Ireland, number 19 in Japan and number 12 in New Zealand. The single also charted in Australia, Belgium, the Netherlands and Slovakia. Since then, Move has been certified gold in Australia and the UK for sales of 35,000 and 400,000 respectively. Little Me was selected as the album's second single from the album. The song was co-written by TMS and Ian James, and produced by TMS. On November 21, 2013, Little Mix revealed via a YouTube video message that they decided to release it as the second single because it held a lot meaning to them and was written with their fans in mind. The song reached number 14 in the UK, number 3 in Armenia, number 15 in Iceland and number 16 in the Netherlands. It also charted in Australia, Ireland and Lebanon. After releasing a cover of Word Up as the charity single for Sport Relief in March 2014, Little Mix announced on April 5, 2014 that the title track Salute will be released as the album's third single. It was sent to UK radio on April 28, 2014. The official music video premiered on May 2 and received over 1 million views within 24 hours. It was released on June 1. The song has peaked at number 6 in the UK, number 5 in Scotland and number 12 in Ireland. Critical response: upon its release, Salute received positive reviews from music critics. At Metacritic, which assigns a normalized rating out of 100 to reviews from mainstream critics, the album received an average score of 66, based on 5 reviews, which indicates generally favorable reviews. Lewis Corner of Digital Spy gave the album 5 out of 5 stars, noting an improvement over DNA, stating, "The group have grown both musically and in confidence, paving the way for them to step out onto that world stage once again and really make their mark," while drawing comparisons to American girl group Destiny's Child. John O'Brien of Yahoo! Wrote that the album cemented Little Mix's status as music's premier girl band while characterizing the album as impressively mature yet still utterly infectious. Harriet Gibson from The Guardian compared the album to pop music of the 1990s, awarding the album 4 out of 5 stars. New, fresh, hype praises this album for the tight vocal harmonies and writing, scoring them 9. They also praised the production of this album, making them sound stronger and slicker. New, fresh, hype scored the overall album 8.2. MSN gave the album 5 stars out of 5, recommending the tracks Salute, Move, Boy, Good Enough, and the rest of the album. Spin included the album in their 20 Best Pop Albums of 2013 year-end list. Track listing, credits adapted from the liner notes of Salute. Charts and certifications, release history, references.